Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is Ria here and I'm back with another video on SAP Analytics Cloud. So today's video is going to be on data modeling in SAP Analytics Cloud. This is part 3 of data models, designing and creating data models in SAP series. And in today's video we are going to discuss about creating of import models, okay, and then importing data into the model once we import the model, then preparing and transforming transaction data. As you know, if you're using a planning model in SAC, then you can perform transaction or transformation on that data. And then we can also see how to schedule data imports and perform formulas and calculations. In my previous video, we saw like how we can create calculated measures, restricted measures in story, right? But in today's video, we are going to see how we are going to perform calculations in model, okay, not in a story, so that you can directly use that in your story. You don't have to perform calculations in your story, okay, because you already have it in your model, which you have already created in the model. So that's for model. Then we will also see converting the currency. We also have currency conversion. Okay, how we can convert a particular currency into a different currency. Okay, if you have in INR, if you have a currency in INR, how you are going to convert it into USD. We'll also see that, and we'll also see time hierarchies. This is very important when you're working with some charts which are related to time, like this time series chart. Then there's a time series forecasting. Okay, for all that things you will need a time hierarchy, like weekly, monthly, yearly, quarterly, for that. So let's start. So I already think that you know how to import the data in a model, because in my previous video I've demonstrated, I mean several times, how we are going to import the data into the model. Okay, but still one more time I'll just go through it. So see, this is the UI. Okay, from we go to the modeler icon, like it's like a cube on the left hand side panel. When you expand it, then you get this model icon which look like this, a cube. You click on it and this page opens. So when this page opens, you click on model. Okay, for you're going to use import model, not live model. So you're going to click over here, and then I've also showed you the steps how you are going to import the file locally from your laptop or your computer. Okay, see, this thing over here, model structure workspace, is the workspace where we create the dimension and measure. See, I think you're very familiar with this UI over here. This is our workspace. We also switch this. If you want to switch to calculation workspace, we can go over here. If you want to switch to data management workspace for importing the data or exporting the data, we go over here. So this is a workspace. Now we are in the model structure workspace, where you will see dimension and measures and all other things. You can view your data in data foundation view. You can see what all errors are there in your model by from this validation option. We can you can also add dimensions and measure from this option. And this is this sign over here. Okay, this is for model settings. If you want to perform more advanced settings on your model preferences, then you can go over here. And this is the builder panel, okay, which you will get from selecting over here details. And here you can add and remove your any other, like if you want to create a table, dimension table, then you can go over here and create it. If you want to create a hierarchy property or any other things you want to add to your model, you can do it from over here. Okay, so that's the model structure workspace, where you configure your model. Okay, where you import the dimension measure into your model, and many things you can do from this workspace model structure. Next, measures. We already know what are measures and public dimensions. Public, it's self-explanatory. Public means anybody can view it and you can use it in any model. Okay, it's if you use a private dimension, then that dimension will not be accessible in any other model. Okay, it will be only accessible in the current model. Okay, model preferences. This is the tool. I just show you this over here icon, gear icon. If you click on it, you will get this model preferences settings. I've already shown you in my previous video what is the use, what are all the options we have. See, general, language, access and privacy, data settings, date settings, planning and conversion. You can see my previous video for this. These are the settings that we have. We are not going to use this that much as a beginner, okay, but when you go deep into SSE and you start creating projects, visualizations for corporate, okay, for corporate clients, stakeholders, and when you mostly work with planning model, okay, you're doing enterprise planning, that time you will come across these things. Viewing options, as I said, this over here, this icon is for data foundation view. If you want to see your data in this structure, like if you want to see if your data is successfully imported into your model, then you can come over here. It will show you the data in a tabular format. That's for data foundation view. If you will click here once again, this will go away. Now let's I think you already know it. If you don't know, then please go through my previous video on data model part 2, or else I have created a separate video on importing data into SSA. Okay, you can go to my playlist of SSA tutorial and there you will find it. Okay, or else I also share the link in the description. Then comes importing transaction data. So what is transaction data? Now you have two types of data: metadata and transactional data. Metadata, as I said earlier, it's dimension and measure. They only represent your data. They are not the actual values which you are going to calculate or which you are going to show in your visualization. These are just a placeholder, or you can say like a label. Okay. Now, country, city, region, all these things are just a label, right? It's not the actual country. Now, in country, many things will come, right? India, Japan, USA, Australia. These are all the members of the dimension country. This all comes under country dimension. Okay, but country is just country. And in a country, all these things comes: India, Japan, USA. So like that, India, Japan, USA, and all other countries which come under country dimension, these are called transaction data. Okay, and in if we talk about measures, then you have a profit measure. Okay, you have a measure called profit, and in that you have uh, data like under profit measure you have data like plus 24%, plus 35%, minus 12%, plus 12%, okay, like that. So all these are transaction data which comes under the profit measure. So that's the difference between metadata. Metadata is country, and in case of measure it's profit, and transaction data is the data which comes under the metadata. Okay, in country it's the name of the countries like India, Japan, USA, and for profit it's the actual amount of profit. Okay, like plus 25% or minus 30%, like that. So I hope you understood the concept of transaction data. So when we are importing the model, we import the transactional data. Okay, here you can see here, as you can see over here, not this one. If you want to see the transactional data, you have to switch to a data foundation view over here. See, you can see all the transactional data. These are the metadata. See, date, lines, stores, revenue, quantity, and these all things 2323 and 390, 456. These are all transactional data. So if you want to import it, then you have to follow the steps. There are some several steps to import the transactional data. I've shown it in my previous video. You can check it out. I'll share the link in the description. Then comes, these are all the, see, while importing the data, you should also make sure that correct mapping is done. Okay, SAC creates a copy of your data. Okay, in SAP, in SAC's memory. Okay, as I said earlier, when you use import models, the data is not stored in your source file. Okay, it gets stored, the SAC makes a copy of it. Okay, data replication happens, and SAC stores this data in SAC's memory. It has a memory, and it has a storage where it stores your data from source file, and for that it creates a new metadata. Okay, it creates a dimension called country, it creates a dimension called region, it creates a measure called revenue or profit. Okay, once it is done, then it maps that with your source files dimension and measure. Okay, if it has created a dimension called country, then it will find that is the dimension called country available in your source file? If yes, then it maps that new created dimension country with your existing dimension which you have in your source file. So that's called mapping. So it is done over here. That's what they have shown over here. You have to properly map the properties also, okay, or else it will give an error and you will not be able to successfully import your data into your model. So that's very important. That's for importing data. I'll share you the link. I have step by step I've done this. Okay, I've imported the data into the model. I'll share the link, please check it out. Then comes preparing and transforming transaction data. Okay, so now we imported everything, but now we have to prepare. Okay, so what I always say this, once again I'm saying, once you import data into SAC, you cannot make any modifications, especially on dimensional values. Okay, if you import a column called country and in that you have several countries names, India, USA, Japan and so on. But now you think like, I don't want Japan as a country in my data at all because it's not of my use, but still it is there. Okay, so you cannot now remove Japan from your data directly from SAC because you cannot do it. You can modify numerical values, like if you want to there's a error in your profit column. If there's a profit of 25%, but it was actually 24%, but it is written as 25, but you now have to make it 24. So you can do that, it is possible. But modifying dimensional values like removing the Japan name, okay, all the Japan countries from your column and adding a new country, it's not possible. For that, you'll have to either re-import the data into the model. Okay, you have to make modifications in your source file and then re-import it. Or else what you can do is you can, before re-importing, you can just cross-verify your source file itself. Before importing the data into the SAC from your source file, you just cross-verify from your source file. Is your source file correct? Are there any issues in your source file? Are there any missing values in your source file? Okay, are there any duplicate values in your source file? Okay, you just check it. So this is the option where you check. You prepare your data. See, here you prepare your data. You first check, is everything mapped properly? Are there any null values and all that? And then you import the data. So this is for preparing the transactional data that you are going to use in your model. We also have custom expression editor, okay, where you can customize your data. Okay, you can prepare your transactional data using a query, or you can say expression. See, this is the expression they have used, okay, where you can import the data by adding so and so filter. Or if you want to remove duplicates from your data, then you can also write a expression over here which will remove the duplicate values from your transaction data. And we have different types of job settings. We can either import the model or reverse sign by account type, and all these things are there. You will get it from here. Okay, these are some advanced options which we are not going to look now. Map to target, as I mentioned earlier, you have to map all the new values with your current values that's in your source file, and then you import the data. Okay, so all these things I have explained it in my previous video in detail, okay, step by step. Okay, and I've performed it practically also, so please check it out. The link is in the description. Now I don't want to make this video too long, that's why I'm skipping this part for this video, and I'm going to the other parts which I have not explained in my any videos. Okay, so this is done. Now coming to scheduling data imports. So you can even schedule data imports. Okay, you can set a import at a specific time, and when you're sleeping, the SAC will do the work for you. Okay, it will import the data for you automatically because it has been scheduled, and you can sleep peacefully. So you can import data from multiple data sources. Okay, if there are, in some cases, in your when you start working as a data analyst, okay, and you have some use cases in your work. Okay, so at that time you have to deal with multiple data sources. You won't have a single Excel file, you will have multiple Excel files, or you may have to import data from SAP HANA database. Okay, or maybe you have to import data from some other database. Okay, So at that time, you will not manually import the data, right? You'll connect to one data source, you will import the file, then you will again connect to another data source and you'll import the. This is very tedious task, and it's very, and if your data is of huge amount, if it's of 500 records, 500, not 500, but if it's of 1 million records, 5 million records, then it becomes a very tedious task to do. So for that we have schedule data imports, where you just tell SAC that schedule so and so data import, and it does it for you. These are the settings. Okay, so you can try it out. You can go to connections. There's an option on the left hand panel. You can go there and you can set connections and you can schedule status. Okay, now coming to the main part, that is formulas and calculations. Dimension member formulas. So members means like, see, as I said earlier, if there's a country called if there's a country column, and under it comes different types of country like USA, Japan, India. So these are all members of the column country. So these are called dimension member. Okay, and we perform formulas on it. Okay, so the formula in the account dimension, the results are in the table in a story. Okay, so following are the example of dimension members. So see, we are performing some calculations using the four dimensional members. Okay, we are not performing calculation on the dimension itself. Okay, we are not like doing like that. Okay, add country dimensions and also add the dimension first name with the dimension last name. We are not doing like that. Now we are actually adding the uh, member in the first name and the last name. Like in the first name dimension, we have a member called Ria. Okay, and in the last name dimension member, we have a member called Patil. So now we have to add Ria Patil, like that. Ria plus Patil. We want like that. So in this calculation editor, we'll write Ria plus Patil, like that. We'll not add first name plus last name. We just want Ria Patil to be modified. Okay, so we'll write Ria plus Patil. So that's what dimension member. Ria is a dimensional member. Patil is a dimensional member of last name dimension. Ria is the dimensional member of first name dimension. So we are directly adding the member itself. That is Ria plus Patil. So that's what they have mentioned here, dimension member formulas. You can use dimension member formulas to calculate account values. Mostly this is not used for non-numerical values. This is used for numerical values, and these are restricted to other dimension member value as prior year revenue. Okay, so if there is an account dimension and you want to add some several dimensions together, then you use a dimension formula. Okay, where you add several accounts together and you get a value. Calculated measures. Please go through my previous video. In detail, I have explained you what are calculated measures and how you are going to create it in the calculation editor. Still, I'll show you the workspace. Now, we have switched to calculations workspace. We were first in model workspace. Now we have switched to calculations. Here you can perform all the calculations. See, you can create calculated measure. You can create measure. You can also create converted measure over here, and you can, this is the calculation editor in your model. You can write the formula over here. See, margin divided by revenue. Okay, you can perform, you can do the formatting from here, set the aggregation type, sum, average, or mean, like that. And also the formatting, scaling and decimal places, you can do it from here. And this is the calculation editor. This is for counted by each product and link store. Okay, see, here we have set the aggregation type to count, so it will count the number of stores. Okay, it will count the number of countries present in a dimension. It will count the uh, total number of, you can say, products that have been sold. Okay, so that's count. So like that you will have several aggregation types, sum, average, mean, and all like that. So that's for aggregation. Coming to creating formulas. Now let's see it practically how we'll create a formula, calculated measure. These things will be very easy when you do it practically, or else it will go bouncer. Okay, now let's select our model, which is this one. We have already created a model. Now we are adding a calculation to it. See, you will come over here and you can switch to calculations workspace. Now this, as you can see here, calculated measure, click on this plus sign, give a name to your calculation so that you can identify. Also give a description for more information, and here you will have the calculation editor. You can put your formula over here. Formula is margin. We are selecting margin divided by revenue. See, if you just type R, it will give you the uh, existing measures you already have in the model. Okay, and if you typed M, then it will give the existing measures that start from M, so you don't even have to type everything. It will give you suggestions. As you can see here, it is giving me revenue, so I'll just click revenue. This sometimes doesn't work properly. And for formatting, you can scroll down. You can give a unit type as none. We don't want anything, let it be none. Formatting, let's give it as in percentage. We want the margin in percentage. And decimal, let's keep it maybe 2 or 1. Let's keep it 1. And now we are all set. We have to save this. Now we are also adding a dimension. Click on this row and then add date. We are adding a date dimension. To again add one more dimension. Select these stores. These dimensions are already there, okay, in our model. We're just adding it to the calculations part. Okay, so here you can see we have revenue, margin, and we have this. This is the date dimension we just added, and these are the store dimension we just added from here. Okay, and this is the revenue and margin. We already have it over here. See, measures, and this is the new calculated measure we just created over here. See, so that's why I said giving it a name is very crucial so that you can identify it. So this is the new dimension that we created using, not dimension, sorry, column, a measure as a measure. These are all measures. Okay, so that we just created using a calculated measure. So it has calculated uh, margin divided by revenue, that is gross margin. Okay, we got gross margin, so formula for that is margin divided by revenue. We put the formula and we created a calculated measure, so we got a calculated measure. Let's see what is this. Creating a story using SAP universal model. Let's select. Now we are going to create the story. Okay, we are done creating the model. Now we are going to use that model in our story. Let's select a table. Select some model, select another model. Now use that model that we just now created. See, we have also added a calculated measure to it. Add dimension. Select the required dimension. We want stores dimension. Let's select it, and we also want date dimension. You can also add filter if your data is very huge and not all data, you want only one relevant data to be displayed, then you can also add filters. Okay, now we are selecting only revenue and margin because these are the relevant data. Sharing the filter. See, we got the table over here, we got the measures, we got revenue, margin, and this is the calculated measure that we just created. We also want to add one more dimension, that's date dimension, so that we get the data on so and so date. Okay, let's right click over here, let's add a drill to level 5, so we'll get the date weekly, or maybe, yeah, we got the date as weekly date, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, like that. Here also February has 4 weeks, week 1, 2, 3, 4, so like that. So that's the hierarchy. As you can see here, the hierarchy, this is a level based hierarchy, as you are seeing over here. So we just created a table in our story using a calculated measure. This is the calculated measure. So like that you can use a model, okay, in your story, okay, and you don't have to again, did we again created a calculated measure over here anywhere? No, right? We already have this over here and we just imported it. That's the advantage if you already create a calculated measure in your model. Now let's see currency conversion. So exchange rates are stored in SAP Analytics Cloud currency translation rate table. So in your SAC, you will have a translation rate table, okay, where all your currencies translation will be stored. Okay, so it will have like what is INR to USD, what is 5 INR to USD, what is 5 USD to INR, like that. So all the things, there's a table, okay, translation a currency translation rate table where all the translations will be stored. See, you can see here, this is the table. You don't have to go and search for everything. SSC has already, okay, this is a very vast topic and I think I have to make a separate video on this. It's a very vast topic. Okay, so I'll teach you in this some another video. Okay, this is a very vast topic, as you can see here. This should be it's very, it will go bouncer if I teach you now. Let's move to time hierarchies. I'll cover this in some other video. So time hierarchy. So in time hierarchy, the date dimension, it defines the start and end dates of a model's time frame. It also specifies the granularity of time units used in the model. Okay, this is the granularity of the time. Year, quarter, month, week, or day. In the previous example, practically we saw, right? We selected the date dimension, we right clicked on it, and we selected the level 5 in the drill. So that level 5 is week or a day. Level 1 was year, level 2 was quarter, level 3 was month, level 4 was week, and level 5 was day. Okay, so that's the level. We have used a level based hierarchy on the dimension, so that way we are going able to see the levels. So that's called granularity of time. It can be maintained either manually or automatically by the system. Most of the time, system creates the level based hierarchies for you. If you have a date dimension, you don't have to create manually. But in some cases, if you want need any modifications, if SSC has not done the right thing for you, then you can also manually add it. Okay, these are weekly patterns. These are all semantic types: year, half year, quarter, month, period. The hierarchy has the mandatory year semantic. Sorry for that. So the on the level 1, year will be there. Okay, under year everything will come. Year will be, year will have the highest level semantic. So under the year, half year will come. Under half year, this is level 2, this is level 1, level 2, level 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that. So these are all hierarchies. Hierarchy has the mandatory year. Okay, year will be always in the level 1, it will have the highest level year. Okay, and semantic types within the hierarchy are ordered from largest to smallest. So year is the largest, right? Beyond year, does any other time period comes? I don't think so. Decades come, but we don't have decade in SAC, we have just year. So it is SAC arranges all these semantics by largest to smallest. So first year will come, and in last day will come, and in day time may become. I mean hourly, 24 hours, 14 hours, like that. We have also season, holiday, and week. Level 1 is week, level 2 is holiday, and level 3 is season. As you can see here, year, half year, quarter, and these are for season, holiday, and week. So you can create a hierarchy. This is a custom hierarchy that they have made. You can also create one. So let's create a custom hierarchy. I hope this is very clear to you. It may seem little bit complicated at first, but when you get a knack of it, you get practice, all these things will be very easy for you. Let's go to preferences, model preferences. See, as I said you earlier, you can perform all your date settings from model preferences settings. So now let's go to date settings. This is toggled. Okay, so no need to worry. Let's click OK. Select the date dimension. Where's the date dimension? Oh, it's here. Select edit table. See, we are now going to dimension table. See, now the table is over here. Let's select edit. Where is edit? Oh, okay. This is user managed now. Let's click save. We have got the date over here. See, you can now edit the dimension as it has been saved to user manage. Now this is not system managed, you can perform modifications on it. Okay, SAC won't do anything for you. Now it is under your control, and you can change the date or set any hierarchies by yourself. Now we have to add a new property for season on holiday, so let's do that. Let's go to table, dimensional table, scroll down, and now here you can see a property. Let's click on this plus sign. You can do these all things coming to the builder panel in your model. Give it a name. Giving a nice name is very mandatory, or else you'll get confused. Let's select a semantic type as year. As you can see here, year has set to the highest level. Under year will come all the uh, other time periods like half year, and at last will come day. Let's select year. We want the data to be displayed in yearly format, so we are creating year. Create. Let's create one more property. Let's give it a name. Type, let it be generic. Okay, holiday is just generic type. That was day, that was year. Okay, now this is just generic. Create. And now we have to save it, or else all the work we just did will go to vain. Now let's go to grid view. Click over here. Let's give a name to the column. We will use this Excel file to populate the season column. This is the our Excel file. We are just copying the data from here. Control C, and now click over here and press Control V. Oh my god, what did this open? Let me close this. When you type Control V, oh my god, what did just happen? Okay, sometimes this things happens. Okay, so here's the season. We just see what we did. We went to our Excel file. Okay, this is our Excel file. We copied this entire column. Control C. We went to our system, SAC. We clicked over here and we pressed Control V, and we got all the data. Okay, that's how we copied from Excel to SAC. And then we can add a holiday column. Similarly, we will Control C this and Control V over here. Okay, and now let's scroll down and do one more thing, creating a hierarchy. Okay, we are going to create a custom hierarchy. These all things SEC has created for you, but now we want something else. Let's give it a name. Let's give it an ID, holiday season, and we are going to select the level as 1. This will be on the first level. If you select drill, and in the drill if you select level 1, then you will get the data in the holiday format. Let's select this is level 2. Season was level 1 and holiday is level 2. Sorry, holiday was level 1 and season is on level 2. Let's select week. Let's drag and drop it over here. You can also drag and drop the values. Okay, we just don't have to every time click and do the things. We can just drag and drop. So we have set the hierarchy. Level 1 will be week, level 2 will be holiday, and level 3 will be season. Now what we can use it, like if we have a table in our story and if we right click on the date dimension, then we will get option called drill. If we click on drill will show me like that, level 1, level 2, level 3. Level 1 will display the date dimension in weekly format. Okay, if we select level 2, then SAC will display the data in the date dimension in a holiday format like this. See, and if we select level 3 in the drill, SAC will display the date dimension in seasonal format like this, as you can see here. So that's the use of the hierarchies we have just created now. This is a custom hierarchy. SAC won't create you all these hierarchies by itself. You have to create it manually like we did just now. And now click save. We have to save our model. We have done a lot of hard work today and we have to save it. And we are done. We have successfully created a custom time hierarchy along with the property. Okay. Now what else do we have? Now let's use this in our story. Okay. Let's create a bar chart. Let's create a canvas. Let's create a story. Let's insert a bar chart in our data. Let's select a model first. Which was our model? Holiday. Yeah, this one. This is our chart, but it's not showing any data because we have not selected any dimension or measure. Let's make it vertical. We don't want horizontal, we want vertical. Let's add one account. Let's add external sales and measure. Let's add amount of sales. Let's add one dimension. We'll add a date dimension. See, this is date dimension, and now we'll set the hierarchy too. Now we are going to set the hierarchy. Let's select the hierarchy. As you can see here, this is very important, guys. See over here, these three dots, it's like staircase, like levels. Okay, please select it. Okay, and then you'll see change hierarchy over here. See change hierarchy. It is in different hierarchy. It's in date yearly hierarchy. This is showing the data only for the year. Okay, the respective year. It is not showing it in months or week. Okay, so now we have to change it. Let's change hierarchy to uh, let's select it as holiday season hierarchy. Okay, this we just now created in our model. Okay, we created this holiday season hierarchy. So let's select this and apply. And now let's select the hierarchy. Select this. This is already selected. See holiday season. And now, as I said, we'll select level 2. Level 2 will display the data in seasonal format. See. Now the chart displays the seasons. Okay, it is displaying the data in seasons, starting with New Year's. Okay, this is New Year, and this is I think January, February, March, like that. Okay, so that's the main use of time hierarchies, custom time hierarchies. Let's select Easter season. How much sales we got in Easter? Let's see. Okay, 105 euros. That's too much. 105 million euros. Okay, in Easter. Let's drill down. Let's drill up and save. It's pretty simple, right? Now let's give it a name. Let's give our story a name. Select OK. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you learned something new. This is very important. Okay, so please go through this. I'll share this link also, okay, in my description, so that you will practice by yourself, and you will also start creating your own custom time hierarchies and calculated measure. And start please don't make a habit of creating calculated measure or any other measure in your story. Okay, you do it in your model itself. Okay, and then you use it directly in your story. It's a very convenient way and very professional way. Other measures I can understand, restricted measure, date difference, aggregation, that all you can do in the story. But calculated measure, don't do it in your story. You have to create it, you have to prepare everything in the model, okay? Uh, pr- I mean in prior, okay? You have to do these things before you create any story. Okay, first step in your visualization is creating a nice model which will have all the things okay, ready to use. Okay, and then you just import the model in your story and you start creating the visualizations. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. I hope this was very useful for you. Stay tuned for more videos on SAP and its cloud, and in my next video I am going to make a video on SAP build, where I'm going to show you how you are going to create an app in just one day. Okay, how you're going to create a app in one day using SAP build apps. So that's it for today, guys. Happy learning.